Hi guys, good idea on the video recording, so I thought I'd do the same real quick. Let's see, 0 to 20, I have no pastoral influences. If I do, it's probably cultural influences, kind of the TV preachers that you might catch, but I had no worshiping community from birth to sixth grade that I think made any difference on my life other than a sense of betrayal by that young church to my mom after my dad's death. So I don't really think of the church or preachers in general subconsciously, though I probably have some things in me. At college age, we found a little church in Macon, a Presbyterian church, and Richard Caldwell was the pastor there. He was a jovial, jokey kind of guy. He asked big questions of the Scripture, social issue questions, theological questions, and he tended to leave them unanswered, not even bother trying to answer them or to spin them off. But his jovial, jokey way and his calm demeanor, his calm attitude reduced the fear or the tension on some of the big issues and questions, and I think that was his way. He ended up being the one who baptized me, and he did mine and Jill's premarital counseling and our marriage as well. After that, she and I joined a little new church development in Montgomery, Alabama, and there was a husband and wife co-pastor, Richard and Elizabeth Dibert. Richard was a medical doctor first, so he came into pastoring and preaching with a medical, scientific, analytical approach. He was the left brain in the couple. Elizabeth was the open-hearted, sweet, comforting, right-brained half in the couple. And Richard would challenge us prophetically and passionately about what we as our little church or what we as the big greater church should be doing differently. He tended to sound a lot like Jesus in the confrontations of the temple or the culture. And then she also sounded like Jesus in the warm-hearted comfort to those who felt lost or alone or sidelined by life. Richard preached about 3 times to her 1, and we used to think that's a good ratio. After that, we ended up in Greenville, South Carolina, and Alan McSween was the lead pastor there. He was a centrist, a moderate, a middle of the spectrum guy, very orthodox, very traditional, even wore his preaching tabs, if you know what I mean by that. And he also did wonderful exegesis, asked really big questions, but very seldom took a stance on the big, tough issues, wouldn't wander too far right or left of center, and wouldn't take a stand anywhere, but tended to bring every sermon back to sovereignty of God and trust in God, no matter what. So I used to be kind of disappointed with Alan for not taking a stand or two from time to time. Since then, I guess I've had a few other influentials, but since I've gotten here at Oconee Pres, I listen to podcast sermons from Pam Drizel, who was the founding pastor here. She's now at Trinity, so I listen to her sermons. And I also listen to Andy Stanley because Athens Church here in Athens is a satellite campus of North Point, and I tend to find a lot of folks choosing Athens Church around here. I wouldn't say those 2 voices are influential to me or really helped me become a better preacher, but I do just like knowing what the history of this church is in Pam and what those who don't choose this but do choose Athens Church say over this, what they're hearing and what they're liking that they may or may not be finding here from me. So let's stop there. I hope that's enough to get the conversation going, and I really appreciate you guys sharing your stories too.